shitty intro, but I don't fucking care. Anyway, um, so yeah, known on PSN as the artist poet, Hako the artist poet. Oh. Anyway, so playing some Conan Exiles, and this is actually a server that I tried to play on it, and the rubber banding was so bad you couldn't even climb 10 feet before falling off. Everybody wants to say that. Oh, that's okay. We don't have to worry about that. Um, just hold down the X button. But yeah, if I wanted to play claw style, I'd play a game claw style. I don't want to have to do that. But anyway, so I decided, and here's the thing: when I go to the server select screen, even though okay, when I leave a server, when it's so bad with the stuttering and the lag and the exploitation and the glitching and the hacking is really toxic, I go to recreate character. I just delete the character because what I used to do in the past is I'd keep a journal of all the server names that I was playing on, and then I would pencil in what level my character was. And I'd also, if I kept a log basically, as crazy as it sounds, but it's a practice I started back in tabletop role-playing games, where the things I did all the time. I always kept a player log. I didn't have just notes on my character sheet. I also had a small journal which recorded what my sessions were, when I got to play, how long we played, what we did in the party, in the session, and things like that. Like a club journal. And so, so I would do that. And so I was doing that with Conan Exiles for a long time until I realized that, well, I could just find all the servers I'm playing on by actually going out to the player list and locating them there. I am trying to sort out my brain here. Heaviest first. Lots of that stuff. Alright, so I like the javelin in the early game. Um, the throwing axe used to be a good offhand weapon, but it's not. It doesn't work anymore like that for some reason. I don't know why. You're not allowed to do it. Snosh and bugs. Bugs are good. Give you fiber. Make you have nice poopies. We're gonna hold on to the bones and the fire glands because demon fire orbs. Good times. Nosh and bugs. I'm sorry. Huh. Okay. I don't plan to wander away too far, so we're alright for now. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah. I can't remember. So, yeah. Oh, yeah, servers. So, this server I played on for a while. I was doing a test, as you remember from previous streamings. I was doing a test that it was I would pick 5 servers all based on ping, because PvP is so connection related that I think that Funcom puts more effort into creating stability for PvP and PvE conflict servers than they do for PvE servers, and it's for logical reasons. So I picked 5 servers. 4 of them were PvP, one was PvE, and all based on pings. I picked the 5 in the morning. Then I went back in the evening and I checked the 5 again just to see what their pings were, and everything was fine. And I did this by server name. Okay, I wrote the names down. I didn't make any characters. When I finally got my 5 servers, that over the course of 3 days of just checking their ping in the morning and in the evening when I play, um, it turned out that these 5 were the most consistently low. So I created characters on each of them, and then I would play every morning and every evening. I'd log in, and whoever had the lowest ping, I would play that character for about an hour. Um, and I would play as best as I could to get them as many levels as possible too. And this did 2 things. First of all, just having low ping itself is not a big deal. If there's inherent bugs in the server, or there are people who are actively, griefing or causing lag by over spamming their bases in camps, it's going to impact your leveling ability, obviously. So, like I said, playing for an hour, trying to get them as many levels as possible. If I wasn't feeling like it, then I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that any of that for the whole day. You know, I wouldn't do it at all. I would just go play my other two main servers that I played on. So over the course of 4 weeks, I had whittled it down to just this one PvP server that I'm on right now, and the PvE server that I've been playing. That, while he didn't gain as many levels as the PvP servers, he still had the lowest consistent ping and the least amount of stuttering and rubber banding going on. And while it's a PvE server and people are building quite a large number of sprawls, the server's still surprisingly stable. And I don't get latency when I get near someone's base on that server, which is amazing because I mean you have fortresses that are like 50, 60 foundations wide and just bristling with followers, max follower count. You know, single players too. By the way, lots of single players, very few clans or groups. So this server that I'm on right now, tried climbing a lot with it, and like I said, climbing, killing, and farming are the three things you do the most in this game. If you're playing any kind of this game at all, those are the three things you don't want to have glitches with, or stuttering or rubber banding with. Believe it or not, rubber banding and farming is really really bad. It's dangerous because if you're farming near a cliff or lava in the volcano and you stutter or you rubber band, you're in that hazard and you're dead. I've had rubber banding when I was farming underwater out Buccaneer Bay and drowned to death. My character instantly drowned because the game's latency was so bad that it showed that I had a a full breath bar, and really, in fact, my character was drowning, and the game just hadn't caught up with me yet. My character hadn't caught up with the server yet. So, like I said, that's kind of, not right. So that's the thing that I've been doing. And this server here, just tons of rubber banding and stuttering. Also, it seems like a lot of people left, or I'm just rediscovering the map, because there were a lot more shrine complexes. Speaking of shrines, I'm on my way to make a Durketa one, since that's the religion I chose for this server now. So, like I said, on the server select screen, it shows your character's level per server that you're listed. You can sort the servers by level, so you can find all the characters you're playing. I am one of those. Apparently, I'm a rarity. Even though there are a lot of people server hopping, there are very few of them that are actively trying to level all their characters. So when I leveled into this, what was I talking about? So taking the characters, playing this character, I recreate the character because it's just the server's just horrible. All right, it seems to be a little bit better today. I don't know why. Like I said, I'm trying it out. I did stutter and rubber band a few times in combat already, but I'm thinking that might just be traffic. Where's my characters? Bedroll. I should be over here. I lost my stuff. Did I? Well, it doesn't matter. I'm balding the island anyway. So I recreated the character, and that's supposed to have pulled him off the leveling sort, because there's no character there, obviously. But he kept showing up. And I'm thinking to myself, this is not supposed to happen. So after a couple of days of still seeing him up there, even though I had pulled his character off the server, I decided to go ahead and recreate the character. Actually recreate the character. Make the character. Put the character on the server and see what happens. And yeah, so now I'm here. It was originally showing up on this player list as level 17. Now it's level 12 because it's a brand new character. So one of the things I would like to suggest to Funcom is if there was some kind of server note that players could keep other than having to use it in a journal. Why can't I find my bedroll in Campfire? This is why you build a structure no matter what. There's a box even. Come on. You know, I'm pretty sure this is what happened last time too. I know I came up the hillside, the slope, and I know I stuffed it in the tree. Oh, there's a building right there. Vines are good for horse vitality, but I'm going with strength builds now these days. I'm just trying to get some bark. I figured eventually I will clear enough of the area that my bedroll, campfire, and box will just show up. This is the strangest shit possible. Oh, derp. I'm over there. And of course I'm encumbered. Let's see, can I put some ads into that? Will that be enough? Yeah, that'll be enough. Dingle butt. There we go. Alright. So we're going to drop that off. Drop that off. Oh, I do need the Lotus. I don't need the glass right now. But the Lotus is going to be important. I should have this on my wheel. Or in my inventory. Yeah, let's put this in my inventory. Love it. You're going to need that for a Wheel of Pain. I'll use that for horses. Everything else is pretty much trash. Trash? Okay, let's see. Can I build artisan table, a Wheel of Pain, archery things? Maybe I should make an armorer's table. Pick that up and pick that up. Alright, so we're just going to go ahead and make ourselves a little shanty. Just a shitty little shack. Surprisingly, I haven't done that yet. You'll probably notice that my character is exceptionally short, but he's also got a really light build. I know being Conan and being barbaric, a lot of people want to make this hulking monstrosity of a character, but honestly, when you're playing PvP, the idea is all about hiding. As a solo, you don't make bases. Bases are for player groups. As a solo, you make a series of small shacks in camps that you can maintain. In other words, when you log on, you can run a quick survey of your area and reset the timers on there, because they will decay pretty quickly. It's all based on the grid. Somebody told me this, one of the guys I used to play with in an old clan. He said all you have to do is enter the grid and it'll actually reset. So I could build something here, here, and here, and as long as I spawn in and then just swim this little circle right here, all 4 of those timers are supposed to reset. We could test that. I haven't yet. I've just taken it on faith, and so far it seems to actually work, because that's kind of what I do on my other servers. I build in the coordinates, the cross-coordinate system. Oh, also that's a problem. Cross-coordinate system, what am I talking about? Don't listen to my bullshit. But this is a pretty decent spot to hang out, because I have access to a ghost chest. And that's nice. Seems to drop pretty good loot at this level. It's all about that fiber. Alright, so that should be enough stone to build a house. That should be enough wood to build a house. Now we're going to build sloped roofs. So what we want is a, let's see, do we want a 2x2 or a 2x3? Well, actually it's going to depend on whether or not... Oh, where's the sandstone sloped roof? Did I not select that yet? Oh, it's in this section. I didn't select it yet. So, mostly also because we have Crocodile Boy spawns on this side of the island. So I need to be cautious about that. Build down over here in the water. Put the door on the water side. It won't stop anybody with bombs from breaking any of the walls, but it's a deterrent in itself. Alright, let's see if I have enough for what I want. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can make that. I can make a 2x3. Doesn't have to be too big. And then the rest in walls. So that'd be 4, 8. 8 plus 6, that's 14. I'm a little bit short, but that's okay. I'm just talking about my character being smaller. So yeah, when you're playing PvP solo, you're playing by yourself, obviously, and you want to make sure that when you're building, don't build ridiculously, because all it does is put a target on your head, and you are not going to have a fun time, trust me. One time I did build a quick temporary structure, and it was just the roofs and these foundations. And I just built multiple slope roofs, and I would break the roof to get in and then put the roof back up. Believe it or not, it's actually pretty stable. It's a very sustainable system. You just have to make sure that when you're playing, you're committing for the full session to do whatever harvesting and everything else, because you will be open and exposed for that time. And it could be dangerous. Just noshing the bug. I don't need to keep the bugs. That's just, yeah, just get rid of that. So like I said, I want to place the door. Huh. Did I miscount? That's 6. That's 12. I miscounted. Silly boy. But that's okay, because that's now I can do what I like to do, which is have an overlapping wall. But I'm not going to do that, because instead I'm going to do this. There we go. All done. So basically I had this kind of structure but without the walls. It was just tall enough to get into the middle here. Did everything crouching, and all it was is like a bedroll and a box. That's kind of pretty much all you need, really. And this is a pretty decently sized, structure. It does its job. Alright, so we're going to go hop out here, go over here, grab my shit. There it is. I don't know why I unlocked it. That was silly. Also, building in the water on the river is good because you don't despawn any of the resources on the island or the riverbank that you're harvesting near. Because if you built like right here, if I built on this spot, those trees out, those two trees, that tree, that tree, that tree, and any of the other rocks that I had farmed in this area would not come back. That's also a good way when you're hunting for someone. That's also a good way to see who's building what where and how active they are, because you look for the resource spawns. So like I talked about once before, that I played on this one server for a very long time. I played on it so long that I actually ended up being the only exile on the server. The reason why I was able to survive for that long on that server is because I always kept myself as much aware of where my opponents were as I possibly could manage. And the way I found them was just by basically scouting around and looking for things that were pretty obvious, like, well, other than obvious, like the campfires and shit. But you'd be surprised on how clumsy people are, and they'll go ahead and they'll put up torches and shit. And even though you turn those torches off when you get off the game, those torches are lit. They be light on server reset, which is, in my opinion, ridiculous. But you know, it happens, so you have to be aware of that. Let's see, got another level, so I can put in some more points. Let's see what my text message over here was. Alright. This is another reason why I don't always play on headphones, is because I get deliveries throughout the day and I need to be able to hear the front door. Which is going to be fine. Everything's going to be okay. So we're storing heaviest first, except for the weapons. Probably going to need a bigger box. Alright, let's check out my feats. See what else we can earn. Fences are good. Normally, if I was going to just build a really quick and dirty shack, now that all tier fences cause anti-climb, you could build a T1 fort that's pretty defensible. But you know, all it takes is a stack of exploding arrows and some grease and demon fire orbs, and you can pretty much punch through a T1 wall without much effort. Which brings up another thing that I talk about a lot in this game, is that you know, that's another reason why bases are for clans or groups, because you will, you know, whatever you build, it's going to get attacked. You know, you just need to accept that it's going to happen, and what you try to do is just, you know, either minimize your losses by not hoarding, or reduce your chances of being spotted by not overbuilding. So, like that right there, that's pretty decent. So a lot of times what I'll do, just to kind of reduce my resource investment, is I'll just throw down a 4x4 foundation pad, put two walls up, or one wall up if I can raise the foundation above the mesh, like this right here on the water, and put one wall up and then put fences on the top. And then if I need to get in, I just break the fence and replace it, climbing the wall, that is. Of course, now putting a wheel of paint in there, it's going to be a little bit different, because you're going to need to have some kind of ramp, because anytime you climb with a leash in your hand, or a bindings in your hand, you're going to drop the binding, which means then you drop your capture, and that's a pain in the ass. But having T1 fences is really good for securing animal pens and stables. And again, like I said, it really isn't going to matter. I mean, if you present a juicy enough target, they're going to attack, and you're just going to have to accept that that's going to be what happens. So you build all the way out in the open like I did, and try to build some of the obvious spots. There's a lot of spots that are like considered to be pretty meta. Let's see if I can get ahead this time. It's kind of random, but I've noticed if you target the neck in first person, your likelihood of popping the head is pretty good. No, didn't happen. No big deals. I know it doesn't really matter, but if I can avoid hitting the younger shellbacks, I try to. They will barely drop enough value at this level anyway, with these level tools. So technically, I've been playing this server now for about an hour. 14 levels. I guess I'll leave it. We'll see. I mean, the rubber banding and the stuttering is pretty snaggly, but you're going to get that in this game no matter what. And I don't seem to be near anybody's political sprawl, so that's another thing too. When you play PvP, be aware who you're building next to. If you're building next to somebody who's like sprawled out, there's definitely going to be, you know, you should just, you should just expect that there's going to be more than one person playing that, and they're going to probably be pretty uh, particular about their claim. So if you're not too close to them, they shouldn't bother you too much. But you never know. It's PvP for a reason. You know, for reasons. The real ball of wax starts going when you get to level 30 in this game. I think I have enough to be able to temple a Durketo shrine, so let's do that before I do anything else. Yep, got enough for an altar. Perfect. Whoops. And there's my Durketo. Alright, next item is to go ahead and obtain an iron bar and block an attack. Gonna need some wood for this. And we're gonna need some twine. So I have to make a shield. Say, alright, you see what's on my palette right here? That should always be at the top of your list. Tier 1 shit should be at the top of the list. Tier 2 shit below that, and tier shit 3 below. Tier shit below that. You shouldn't have to like scroll all the way down to the bottom to make, you know, to get to these things, because a lot of these things you do craft on the fly. You know, because there's a chance you could have been killed, and now you've got to make it back to your body, and you're going to need something to defend yourself along the way, and possibly tools to create a chest or whatever. And you know, having the tier 2 and tier 3 building structures at the top, having all the building structures at the top, is kind of like not really logical in my opinion, because I mean, even the splash screen for the game, which is survive, build, dominate, you know, if you organize your crafting palette, this handcrafted palette the same way, survive. Well, what's survive? Making twine, making hide, whatever. This is what I would consider to be what you need to survive. All this right here. That should be at the very top. Build. Okay, then you got the building materials. Dominate. Then you got weapons. You know, the more expensive weapons, the more expensive building materials, the more expensive crafting stations. Um, and it's just logic in that sense, but it's also a matter of the gameplay. You know, if you're like, say for instance, in a situation, if I spawned in after being murdered by a crocodile, um, chances are I'm going to need to do that crocodile again. I'm going to need to get to my body. I can't get to my body because the croc's guarding the corpse. Because I died near a croc. So, if I had a bow and an arrow, you know, I could craft that really quick. I could get to my body. Now, you do get about, I think, what was it, 5 minutes or 10 minutes to get to your body. Your loot bag, as it were. That's fine. But all the same, you know, if you're running the map and you're trying to be, you know, light and efficient, you should have the survival crafting right there on the top. I mean, yeah, you could create a Hot Wheel of it, but then you can't populate the Hot Wheel with the actual items you're trying to create. We need 25 foundations for this Durketo shrine. I know investing in foundations for an altar in a location that I'm probably not going to maintain is not really worth it, but all the same, who knows? That's the other thing I test in the game. By playing early in the morning and late in the evening, sometimes not even in the raid window, I also get to see if there's anybody who's raiding people offline just because, and finding out what they do for damage-wise. You know, are they just, you know, out there attacking because they can, or because they want to, and they feel that's the game they want to play, might not be the server I want. Uh, if I'm playing on a server where they're pretty much ignoring anybody building in T1 small shit like this, like I'm doing, then I'm like, okay, these guys are waiting for me to actually build a fortress, and then they're going to want to attack that, and that's cool because that's what I want. That's what I want. I want some PvP me, PvP me. Don't PV door me or PV wall me or PV vault or PV chest me. Okay, yeah, you know what I mean. Still not enough foundation. I should have some levels. I can put some more. No, I can't. I'm gonna start earning some vitality though. It used to be you can mine underwater pretty darn good, so I was always conscious about where I built on the river in that respect. Um, but now it doesn't really matter so much. Since this is going to be a while, I guess I could hold on to bones for a bit. I should probably make another box. Let's make another box. When I store my stuff, I have it sorted into 5 boxes: animal, vegetable, mineral, equipment, and crafting. Let's do I have enough to make. Yeah, I could do that. Oops, I don't have enough of that. Let's make that. It's gonna take a while. That's curious. I have enough twine to actually make. I have enough fiber to actually make 24 twine. I need 12 per box. And I got enough wood to make 2 more boxes. That's creepy. Some would say weird or synchronistic, but no, actually no. It's the fact that my mind is just subconsciously tuned into this game, and I know about what point I have enough resources to actually build stuff. Not enough resources. We're waiting. Because it won't build the box until after my string queue is done. So we've been playing it for about an hour now. Okay. Alright, that's going to be the mineral. And then this will be equipment and crafting. Now, when I say equipment and crafting, that means this is where I'll stash my crafting stations and my equipment. Durr. But I'll have a box for crafting, and then I'll have a box for equipment, because that's kind of what's going to happen. Uh, Crafting also includes building materials, so it won't just be workstations. It'll also be any pre-built building materials that I will then need to sort out. So this is the animal box, so all the animal stuff goes in here. Count that as animal. I count that as animal. It's alright? Okay, then this is the vegetable box. All the plant fiber, seeds, twine, bark, all that goes in there. And then this is going to be the mineral box, which is going to be stones, crystals, and ores. There we are. All good. And it is nighttime. Let's see. Anything else spawn on the map? Nope. Oh, it's a sandstorm. That's why it's so damn dark. I was like, this is the desert. This is the river. It's Why is it so dark on the river or the desert river? A lot of people call this the swamp. I think that's accurate, and a lot of people call this the jungle, and I think this is accurate. This is all known as the Silkwood because it's that big old spider down there, and then of course Buccaneer Bay. A lot of people refer to this landmass as the arm. There's the shoulder bay, or scapula. I like to call this the elephant. This whole thing is the elephant. There's the trunk. This is the tusks. There's the crown, and then there's the ear. And because it looks like an elephant to me, you know, some people see an arm and a fist. I see an elephant. Uh, this could honestly be another kind of creature. This could be the beetle. There's the pincers. There's the carapace or the thorax. It's the abdomen back here. And then these would be. Oh, this could be the scorpion. This could be the scorpion. This is the tail right here. There's the forward claws, and then there's the legs. So you have the elephant, you have the scorpion. Let's see if we can find any other animals in here. This is the game I play with myself while I'm waiting for the sun to come up. If I'm not like, if I need to go harvesting instead of, yeah, you can call this the snake. Snake. Let's take a look up here on the volcano. You know, last time I was here, I could have sworn there were more shrines. So, I don't know, maybe this surfer went through a war. This kind of reminds me of a pelvis. There's the pelvic bone right here. There's the coccyx, and there is the lower vertebrae spine. Uh, Frost keeps over here. Mounts of the Dead. Let's see. This could be the bat or the dragon, flying dragon. There's these wings right here. There's these wings down here. There's this could be the head or the talons. This could be the tail or the head, depending on how you see it. It could be the phoenix. It could be the bat. I would say, actually, this looks more like a phoenix. So this could be the phoenix. We can call this the phoenix. Down in here, it's got a very big crab-like shape to it. And then Sepamaru. Alright. We're going to repair, and I'm going to go block and attack. Now, setting up my wheel, so I'm going to go block and attack. Do I have enough to actually make a bow? I think I do. I think I just use this. Yep, got enough to make a bow. So we're going to shoot an enemy, we're going to make an attack. Okay, so that's offhand. Whoops. Main hand. And then we're waiting for the bow to be built. And then we're going to do that. There's the bow. Alright, so we're going to grab my ivory arrows. I'm going to save these for bigger things. Technically, let's just grab all the tools. All the tools of war. I guess I could have just, I didn't need to make a bow, but because I could shoot them with the javelin. That's why I like the javelin. It's quick, short attacks that have a lunge. This is going to be me blocking an attack. He didn't do it. There we go. That's me blocking an attack. Now I'm going to kite him back to my camp. Look at the fibers already respawning. Shot the enemy in the booty. If I aim for a leg, I can cripple him. No, not happening. And we're out of ammo. too laggy. Oh, I lost the javelin. Damn it. It's down here? It kind of sounds like a dolphin. Got plenty of breath. I don't know what your problem was. Oh, this is a pretty good spot. I forgot about this. Being right here at the iron. Start putting those odd points into vitality. So I need to, well, I don't need to do anything. I want to sunder and I want to cause someone to bleed. So if you notice my Hot Wheel, I put all my health and regen at the top. I put my farming tools at the bottom. I put my main weapons on left and right. The left part, of course, is for two-handed weapons because it involves my offhand, and the right part is for one-handed weapons because it only involves my main hand. I do think it's kind of presumptuous that, oh, there is a build-up over here. Shits. Oh, let's see. How much? Oh, looks like it got broke into. Yeah, it might be that, this has been a server war. This is the mongrels. I don't have a repair hammer with me. It's not decayed. Everything is operating pretty well. It's supposed to be all their main stuff. Yeah, there's a wheel of pain in there. I don't hear any blacksmith's tables or carpentry going on. It's a tanner. Sounds like a tanner. Bottom floor is probably the wheel of pain. This is a nice little build, actually. It looks like they're extending. Yeah, it sounds like there's a tanner going on in there. So they got themselves a tanner. Crippled here in a second. Made him bleed. Gotta stay in close enough so he doesn't shoot me. Which is grossly inaccurate. Most combat archers, they can actually shoot you at point blank, like within like 2 arms reach. What the fuck? Okay, sure, why not? Oh, lordy. Oh, that's hilarious. Alright, well, I got my iron bar, so there we go. I'm gonna dye myself in something. I'm gonna equip a piece of light armor. That should be quite a few achievements right there. I mean, the noise itself was pretty hilarious, but the way his body just kind of crumbled in it. Whatever. I'd never heard that before in this game, so they are doing some add-ins here and there, just kind of sneaking stuff in, I guess. It's too much fun. That's why I keep playing this game, because in spite of the fact that you can run across some really horrific people uh, in groups, you know, it's not terrible. You know, there's moments and things like that, but it's not terrible. I'm doing the 2-2 combo, too light, too heavy. When you deal with daggers, there you go. Also notice that the game does make use of location hitbox. Like in PvP, like first-person shooters, you have crits and you have body shots. So, what the hell? Where's the other one? Okay, so I have a body fall. And I did get some more points, yay! So we got encumbrance going. Now we're going to do some survival. And then the odd point goes into vitality. So yeah, dried berries for your beasts gives them strength. And then brush lupine for your horses gives them strength. I would go for the strength build on my followers if I can at all times. Unless they have really shitty hit points, then I'll try to level the hit points to at least 1500 before going through. I mean, it depends. It depends. I mean, there's like massive videos out there. Guys have done stuff. Need to scout to Defari. I keep saying need, but it really isn't. This is a game of wants. There should be no needs here. The only thing you need to do is live in your world, your real world. Oh. Oh no. Like Skyrim level glitches right there. And I'm getting my fucking butt owned by that archer. I need to get away from him. Or her. Yeah. Whoa, he's in a combo. I can't break it. I can't break
I
it.
will drink your blood.
What the hell? Screw off, asshole. Punked me with that RNG shit. It's getting a little bit buggy the closer in I get, the further up the map I go. I don't know why I'm giving this server a second chance, but I guess I'm a glutton. Let's get up to full health. This is why I like picking short characters. Oh, he still found me. So stealth is not really a thing. Who is Nate? Style. This is the last one here. I have another archer in the area. That should have been a fuck ton of XP. Where is she? Who the hell? Ah, there you go. Heed, sorry. pulling weeds. Alright. That big guy is supposed to have some good loot on him because he's a gold bar. Hopefully he didn't despawn into the mesh. Yep, there he is. Silver coin. Wow, I feel mighty. Oops. Hit the spikes. One-handed and shield is definitely the way to go. I'll probably go axe and shield for the rest of this character. Hey, there's some water. Alright, now it's time to go ahead and do the grizzly shit. Yeah, that's definitely got more on it. I typically, I would generally, on a PvE server, hoard everything. But, in this instance, it's not really worth it. Because, you know, you're going to get all kinds of shit. Let's go ahead and let's do some sundering. I haven't done any sundering, so I can just sunder. I think that's going to be the last thing I have on my combat journey step. Just start dumping all this excess crap. Don't need all that bone. And the throwing axes are just... Actually, let's get some hide. Sorry. Go. Two, so forget I'm still making. Alright, I think that's all that is. I'm still making foundations, so don't need the seeds. I've not played Durketo, so I don't know what I want or don't want as far as resources are concerned. I know I can't pick all that up because I'm too encumbered. Let's just get back to camp. So, coming up now on roughly an hour and a half's worth of play. He's level 18. I was hoping to get him to level 20, but I really haven't been actively scouting or attacking, so... Yeah. I don't want that elk in the way. Damn. Takes away a lot of stamina. You do two-handed, you need to have the grit for it. She's like got that whole thing going on.
You bastard!
Just some arrows, that's okay. Ooh. Timed his combo right into me.
You picked the wrong camp, mate.
Why does it take so much? I'm gonna die here. Let's get away from this. Disengage. Crippled. With a one-handed sword? Guess. This is another reason why you want to be a short character, too. Instant cover. And you can still get a better angle. If I was a taller character, I'd have to be further down the hill. I don't want him to, like, run off. moves so quick with a two-hander. Oh my god, that was ridiculous. Well, yeah. Okay, we're just gonna go ahead and charge right through all that. Yeah, why not? All right, here we go.
You will all die!
We're all done with that Sunder thingy. Still want to venerate the gods, find somebody to talk to, and get ahead of the game. I'm gonna spare you guys the rest of the boring shit. So, hope we shared some laughs. Hope you learned something you didn't think about before, and hope to share this information with you, share some new information with you next time around. Go ahead and leave a like, leave a comment. I don't need subscriptions. I'm not doing this for that. Just kind of want to share my experience, hopefully provide you with some insights and some strategies, and maybe even get a chuckle or two. So, catch you later.